Pokemon X and Y are infamous for being some of the easiest Pokemon games in the series. So today, I decided to try and only use Pokemon from this generation to hardcore Nuzlocke it, meaning no items in battle, no overleveling gym leaders, and most importantly, no Mega Evolutions. Because obviously there aren't any Mega Evolutions for Pokemon found in the Kalos region. I mean, why would there, you know? So with the rules out of the way, let's get started. So, our story starts with good ol' O Creations here in Vanaville Town, where the FBI, Fletchling Bunk Inspector, wakes me up for a surprise inspection, so I decide to take this opportunity to catch up with some friends in the nearby town, Aquacord Town, when my friends inform me that the professor has given us Pokemon to start our adventure with, so I immediately go for the one and only Mon I've ever started with in Kalos. You know him, you love him, his final Evo is your main in Smash, Leafar the Chespin. Yeah, I'm a huge Froakie fan, but come on, you gotta change it up a bit from time to time. And change is exactly what we embrace, as we aren't able to take advantage of the forced Pidgey encounter on Route 2 and instead find Pillow the Scatterbug. And upon entering Viridian Forest 2 Electric Boogaloo, we'd run into none other than Phoenix Tom the Fletchling. And while I wanted to skip through this place as fast as possible, our friends kept interrupting our progress. But eventually, we make it through, landing in Route 3 to pick up Lola the Bunnelby. Just want to make it abundantly clear that I have chat nicknamed my encounters, so do not blame that one on me. But if you're thinking about trying to give one of my Mons a weird name, consider joining my live streams to give it a go. And with that, we're able to enter Santloon City, where we can head east to Route 22 to find our last encounter before the first gym leader in Leona the Litleo. And upon doing some training, Pillow evolved twice into a fantastic Vivian. So with all of our newly caught friends in hand, it was time to enter the first gym where the bug-type leader Viola resides. Now, at first, her gym puzzle may appear like a daunting maze, one the likes of the Maze Runners from the titular best-selling book and movie franchise have never seen before. But all you gotta do is follow the little water droplets until you reach Viola in no time. So here we go, Photographer versus Rookie Nuzlocker. Who will win? Viola starts off the battle with her funny water spider, Surskit, so I send out Phoenix Tom, who can tank a quick attack easily to bring Surskit into the red. This just procs a potion from Viola, which doesn't quite heal the tap dancing bug to full, meaning our next pet does enough to take it out. Viola then sends out her off-brand Butterfree, thinking it'll be enough, but Phoenix Tom is able to tank tackles and infestations enough to outdamage it and take it down, winning us our first badge in the process. Great work! And honestly, while I love how much content is in this game between the first and second gyms, there's a lot here that can be skipped past, as it doesn't really pertain to the main story. So to recap, we threw a Gen 1 starter in the box, met the super secret and not obviously bad guy, Lysander, then moved on from Lumiose to Route 5 to pick up one of my favorite underrated Mons from this gen, Marco the Furfro, which leads us to taking on Tierno and his less than stellar Crab. I mean, seriously, look, there is no way his team got past the game balance checks, right? I get that he doesn't specialize in battles and does indeed get Swords Dance as a fun nod to his desire to dance, but still, at least give him a few more levels to 14 or something. And how about a stab water move? Anyways, from here, we can infiltrate a palace and grab a Pokeflute and experience a strangely romantic moment with my friend under the fireworks during the day to miss out on our only chance of getting a Honedge this run and wake up a sleeping Snorlax who we unfortunately cannot bring along on our journey. After crossing through Ambret Town and battling Team Flare for the first time in Glittering Cave, we finally arrive in Sillage City, the home of the second gym badge. And as we enter the gym, I see climbing walls, which, if you don't know, is one of my favorite things to do IRL. But as we approach the wall and look for ropes, I realize that there aren't any. You gotta free solo your way to the leader. Surely that won't lead to any lawsuits against the Pokemon League in the future, right? Anyways, we flash every climb to meet Grant at the top and begin the fight. He leads Amara, so Furfro makes his battling debut in style with a Rock Smash, which brings it down to the red and gets the 50% defense drop, only for it to retaliate with a cheeky Thunder Wave. But that's not enough to stop Marco's adventures, as after Amara is healed to full, he breaks free of paralysis to take it out with another rock smash. But after Grant's Tyrant comes out, the para finally comes into play, making Marco open for a free stomp, which arguably does more damage to the dino due to my held Rocky helmet. From here, the Tyrant outspeeds with a bite, and Marco's able to break through both para and flinch to get off rock smash, which leaves the dino in the red with -1 defense. And with the Rocky helmet in paw, all Marco needs to do now is wait for Tyrant to attack, which is exactly what happens, taking it out. If you need more proof after watching this battle that Furfro and his fur coat ability are fantastic, then I don't know, you're just wrong. Photo creations. I bet my top percentage Rattata is better. Yeah, sure he is, youngster Joey. Go back to your home region of Johto, buddy. Wait, you're in Kalos too? How many regions have you been to, dude? Oh yeah, my family has a house in pretty much every region. They like to send me out to try to make new friends, but I keep running into you instead. Alright, well, you can stick around, but I'm in the middle of telling a story here, so, you know, try to sit back and listen. I'm losing the iPad kids' interests by the millisecond here. Well, why don't you just put up some Subway Surfers for them? Huh. Not a bad idea. So after soloing Grant with Marco, it was time to continue on our journey to Geosinge Town, which doesn't seem like a very noteworthy place that's plot relevant in any shape or form. But along the way, we do pick up Hundovion the Eevee, which leads me to grind out some Pokemon Ami minigames for a certain evolution that does count as a Gen 6 Mon. But from here, I trek onwards to pick up a Pika clone on the way to Reflection Cave, where we're able to get through in one piece, meaning we can arrive in Shylore City, the home of Mega Evolution. But before we can get access to a mechanic that we won't be able to use, Marco single-handedly takes out our rival, and with that, it was time to face Karuna in the gym. And while taking out her gym trainers, a regular chatter bonus proposed a new American flag. There it is. What do we think? Are we voting for bonus now, chat? Is this what the flag should be? This is the flag that Bonus will change the American flag to if he becomes president. That's crazy. But anyways, after doing some training... Oh, who am I kidding? This bit's old already. Get the Subway Surfers off the screen. Ah, there we go. Much better. But anyways, after doing some training, the team we decided to roll with was Hundovion and a few heaters we picked up along the way. So we approached Karina and began the fight. She started off with a Mienfoo, so I take a fake out decently well in order to set up a misty terrain, which is really only to make Plant's nature power turn to Moonblast. And in the process, I take a pretty weak power-up punch. A draining kiss on the Mienfoo is then able to one-shot it into oblivion, which means Karina then sends out her Machoke. From here, a draining kiss leaves Machoke in the red, while we tank a Rock Tomb. But not wanting to be slower than Hawlucha, I decide to lower Machoke's attack with Baby Doll Eyes and pivot into Plant, which I immediately get punished for, as the Misty Terrain unfortunately runs out, leaving nature power to turn into Tri-Attack. Good timing, Pasto Creations. Anyways, we go back and forth for a while to waste Karina's potions and staying alive ourselves with Wish to finally get a paralysis from Tri-Attack, allowing us to outspeed on the following turn and take it out with a Fairy Wind. Now it's time for Karina to send out her ace Hawlucha, who is known for being a bit of a pain. But remember that little Pika clone we found earlier? Turns out, Francis the Dedenne is kind of a perfect counter for this guy. So we send him in to tank a power-up punch, and on the next turn, while the Luchador sets up a Hone Claws, we cripple his speed with a Nuzzle. So now I go for Charm to bring its attack back to +1, as a Flying Press does minimal damage. And now, it was time for the little rat to shine, as we go for a Parabolic Charge and get a crit, leaving Karina's ace in the red, meaning on the next turn, we can take out Hawlucha, earning us the 3rd badge. Hey, at least this time, we had to use more than one Pokemon. The heat is starting to rise, but the heat immediately sizzles as there isn't much else to do in between the next gym in Coumarine City. But while riding a Skiddo to Coumarine, we're able to get some training in to evolve Plant with a Shiny Stone and evolve a previously caught Inkay named into a Malamar, which is super exciting as I've never been able to use one of these guys before, and he's immediately able to give Marco an assist against our rival in the city. But from here, it was already time to prep for the 4th gym leader and the Grass-type master, Ramos. And with both Phoenix Tom and Leona not being able to be fully evolved before the level cap of this gym, nice touch Game Freak, let's see if we have what it takes to take this guy out of the garden. Ramos starts the battle with a very underrated Mon in Jumpluff, who's able to do some pretty scary damage damage with acrobatics, only for Phoenix Tom to retaliate on the next turn with Fly, taking it out. This forces Ramos to immediately send out his ace Go-Goat, which kinda surprises me, so I switch into Marco to tank a takedown while dishing out some Rocky helmet damage. From here, I send out a couple returns while only taking a speed drop from Bulldoze, eventually bringing the goat down. That just leaves Weepinbell, who should without a doubt be fully evolved by now. I mean, even Erica's Victreebel is a lower level, and she was a part of the first generation that came out almost 30 years ago now. Yeah, let that one sink in. But anyways, I let Marco rest as I switch back into Phoenix Tom to take a poison powder, only for a held Lumberry to heal it off, allowing me to send out another Fly, taking the thick plant down, and winning our 4th badge. Woo, halfway there. And in between Coumarine and Lumiose lies a route that does not house a single Gen 6 Pokemon, but also a power plant that Team Flare has inhabited. So we go ahead and check that box and get Phoenix Toms and Leona's Evos in the process. So that just leaves a little exploration of the rest of Lumiose City and a walk and a stroll over to the 5th gym. At this point, it's easy to see that the gyms sort of just come right after one another here, so it'll be a bit of a gauntlet intertwined with some Team Flare shenanigans in the background. But anyways, we obviously passed the quiz in the gym with flying colors, thank you college degree, and approached Clement, the 5th gym leader. Wait, oh, I didn't level my Pokemon up. I didn't heal either. We'll be okay. Where is that college degree now, Pasto Creations? Gosh. Well, with a slightly damaged but now evolved Lola and a slightly underleveled team, let's see if we have what it takes. Clement sends out his Emolga, who flies in with an Aerial Ace, only for Lola to send out a return, bringing it down to half. So on the following turn, Emolga's second Aerial Ace not only procs our Oranberry, but also our ability Cheek Pouch, meaning we basically heal to full as Lola's second return takes out the Flying Squirrel. This, not unlike Ramos's AI, baits out Clement's ace Heliolisk, so we tank a quick attack only to dig underground, leaving the electric rat in the red. Knowing that a heal is imminent, I go ahead and hit dig until the rat— wait, no, this is totally a lizard— until the lizard goes down. Clement is now forced out to bring his Magneton, so I send out another dig only to proc its sturdy, leaving Lola wide open to a mirror shot. Not wanting to take any more risks, I decide to switch into Leafar to finish the fight after the Magneton heals with 2 power-up punches. And there we have it, 5th gym badge in hand. Now it was time to leave Lumiose once again to meet up with our friends on Route 14, where we can finally put Phoenix Tom's final Evo to work against our rival as we set up a Swords Dance or two to sweep her team with return. But before we get an encounter here, we fly back to Sillage City to grab an encounter here with the Rod and bookshelf the Clauncher. So after returning to Route 14, we can pick up the pseudo-legendary of the game, Kai the Goomy. This means we can take a pit stop to the haunted house and be on our merry way to Lavere City, where the 6th gym leader, Valerie, resides. So as we navigate through her confusing house, training up our team for the fight, we finally reach her room. And now, it was time to enter the fight. Valerie opens with a Mawile, so I bring out Leona, who throws up a workup as Mawile goes for Iron Defense. This lets us click Flamethrower, which takes Mawile down. Valerie then sends out her Mr. Mime, so I can go for a Flamethrower once again, just barely missing out on the KO. This means Mr. Mime can set up a light screen, and thankfully, Valerie wastes her heals here, meaning we can burn the light screen turns until Mr. Mime is back in the red. So as Leona takes out the Mime, the light screen has been torched. This brings in Valerie's ace, Sylveon, so I switch into Phoenix Tom to tank a Swift, and send out a return. Here, I can stay healthy by alternating between Roost and Return, eventually bringing the dog down. Alright, 6 gyms and no deaths. Surely this pattern will continue, right? As soon as we exit the gym, we gotta stop Team Flare from taking over one of the cooler locations of this region, the Pokeball Factory. It's so interesting that it took 6 generations of Pokemon to get here. I feel like one of these would have felt right at home in Kanto, in like Saffron City or something. But anyways, we can cut through the evil team, eventually reaching some of the team admins Mons, who are incredibly forgettable and easy to defeat with the help of Marco and our rival. But with that out of the way, we can continue our journey to Route 15 to pick up a set of keys and stumble upon Route 16 to grab a pumpkin, only to reach Dendemil Town. And this place was always one of the more forgettable towns to me, but looking at it now, it's got a really cool vibe with a ton of verticality and fun rails to get around town on. From here though, we need to make a detour to Frost Cavern to once again deal with some Team Flare shenanigans. And let me tell you, the layout of this cave is incredibly infuriating. Behind every ice patch and corner is a trainer waiting for you to get trapped in their line of sight. And during this barrage of trainers, I may have taken my focus off of the game for a bit. Baby doll eyes. Hi, I'm back. What did I miss? Not much. We reset the wheel, the nickname wheel. Oh, shoot! Oh my gosh, chat. We almost had our first death. That was so close. We're switching to Phoenix Tom. Holy crap. That was a crit. I thought I was fine because I had baby doll eyes. And plus I'm bulky too, which the crit is crazy. Holy crap. And then we get the flame body proc. That's crazy. Goodbye, sock. Would have been used more if it was a fossil? Probably. Probably. Phoenix Tom had a mission? True. Uh-oh, uh-oh, uh-oh. That's a death. Tom's gonna be so upset. Why was that guy faster than me? I bet you thought Marco was going down there. Yeah, so low sweep lowering my speed there 100% mattered. Talonflames got an extra 20 base points of speed on me and Xiao there. I must have just reverted to a baby gamer state and disregarded anything that didn't do damage to me in this fight. And hey, remember when I risked Marco by sending out a baby doll eyes on a fighting type? You know what? Let's do that again. Should I go for the baby doll eyes again? I'm going for it. Baby doll eyes into return. It's level 46, by the way. Holy crap. No. No. No, 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 no. Oh my god. It landed the focus blast? Are you kidding me? That is crazy. And the special defense drop. That's insane. It hit it twice! What? Our team is in shambles! What are we supposed to do against the focus blast? Okay, good. Holy crap. Stop leading Marco into fighting types, but he has fur coat, it's fine. I also didn't know that this guy was gonna have fighting type move. Uh-oh. Okay. Kingdra level luck, true. I think I have to switch, right? I'm slower. I think we have to go chicken nugget. Why is this thing level 46? Okay. Tank. Oh my gosh, I totally die here. So do I just go strength here? I'm going for it. Energy ball? Yeah, that's dead. So good to know that it has energy ball though. I should have just switched it to Leafar. I think it's just Lola and hope it focus misses. All right, come on, return. Miss, let's go. Let's go, Lola. Let's go. It didn't freaking kill it! Are you kidding me? Alright, we gotta go for it. Come on, Lola. Let's go! Come on. Incredible. Okay, yeah, we did get pretty unlucky there from those focus blasts hitting and the Spit F drops from Psychic, but we could have done a better job at leveling up our team to match the trainers, since, you know, the Medicham was 4 levels above our team. But anyways, we're forced to put our fallen soldiers to rest in the box and move on, as Team Flare doesn't stop for anything. And once we return from the funeral, we're able to deal with those meddling admins once again, meaning we can move on to Route 17 and trudge through the snow to reach Anastar City, the home of the 7th gym leader and psychic type master, Olympia. So we begin to make our way to the gym when our rival decides that now, while I'm still grieving from my first 2 deaths, is a good time for another annoying little battle. She starts with her Meow Stick, so I bring out Leona, who's been rolling through some of the trainers lately with echoed voice, as it does more damage when you use it in succession. Tank this. Shit. Well, we're faster. What? echoed voice, what the heck? That's all of our fire-type Pokemon. Yeah, that was a dumb play. By the looks of the HB bar, it was going to be close with the added damage of Echoed Voice, so I should have just switched out instead of going for what seemed like, in my head, a 50-50 shot to take it out. Thankfully, after sending Marco out and taking down the stupid cat, we were able to steer our way out of the fight without any more deaths. But this one was really just the icing on top for me. So, after holding another funeral service, I decided it was time to lock in. No more messing around with silly guesses. We were going to do this thing without losing any more of the funny and unique Mons of this generation. So we enter the gym with a new and improved team, ready to take on the gym trainers. Wait, is that another Medicham? What's going on here? I don't even think it would go Focus Blast if it had it. I think we were good. Nice. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. That's dead, right? What is happening, chat? And I lost my keys. Okay, well, I think I'm cursed by the Medicham gods or something. That is literally the only explanation. Surely it wasn't a skill issue, right? And suddenly, we were face to face with Olympia. Were all of my deaths leading up to this moment just to wipe here? Let's find out. Olympia sends out Sigilyph, so I bring out Miraidon the Heliolisk, an encounter I got a while back near Glittering Cave, who sends out a Thunderbolt, taking it out in one shot. This brings Slowking in, so I hold my ground, leaving it on a sliver, and allowing it to retaliate with a Psychic. But because I outspeed, I'm able to let Olympia burn those heals off and take the king down. That leaves Olympia's ace, Meowstic. Oh no, not again. It's okay though, since I have a plan. I bring in that pumpkin, Pumpkey, the now evolved Gourgeist on a Calm Mind, only to switch out again to bait a Shadow Ball on Marco. From here, I throw out a strong Sucker Punch, leaving the cat in the yellow, as it sends out a boosted Psychic in the process. But that means we can outspeed and hit a return to take it out and win us the 7th gym badge. Okay, definitely a bit more of a risky fight there, but we pulled through. And as soon as we exit the gym, I get a little call from our favorite not villain, Lysander, claiming to be a villain? What? So yeah, we enter the silly Team Flare hideout beneath Lysander's cafe and get jumped by the one and only right at the entrance. Bookshelf is able to take out Mienfoo while Pumpkin and Marco can tag team the Gyarados. This brings out Pyroar, so I send Bookshelf back out to surf it down. Murkrow now comes out, who's got an interesting moveset consisting of both Foul Play and Retaliate. The thing with Retaliate is, it'll do double damage on the turn after a teammate has fainted. Knowing that Pyroar died on the previous turn, I wondered in the moment if the AI would actually try to take advantage of this boost. Ooh, this is a big risk. Hold on. Hear me out, chat. What if we go into Pumpkey and tank the immune Retaliate? Do you think that's what it does? Oh, this is so tough, because if it goes Foul Play, it's 100% dead. It's 100% dead. Biscuit? I think we gotta risk it, right? Let's do it. Here we go, watch this. Come on, Retaliate, you piece of shit. No! No! What the hell? Alright, that's a gifted member right there. Yeah, I should have known that the AI of Pokemon X and Y wasn't gonna be that smart. Regardless, we can bring Marco in to take out the Murkrow and finish the fight. This means we're free to mow down the Team Flare grunts and admins no problem, and get some crazy dad lore dumped on us from some random tall guy in a cage. And come to a decision. Do we press the blue button or the red button? And much like how Neo is tricked into taking the red pill, I realized that the ultimate weapon was to be fired in either case. So we watch in awe as the ultimate weapon surfaces in that random town that didn't seem to have any plot relevance earlier, and made our way over to the scene to check it out. From here, there's a couple more Team Flare fights to take on as we enter another underground base and go toe-to-toe against Lysander for the second time in like 20 minutes, and this time with no issues. So now, my rival and I are forced into an admin double battle gauntlet, which we take care of in style. This lets us awaken the box its legendary and catch it in a funny purple ball, even though we will not be using it in battle. But this only prompts Lysander to come back for a third time in like half an hour, and his team hasn't changed a lick, making it a breeze to take him out until his Gyarados Mega evolves. Bookshelf is out at this point, who's able to tank an Outrage only to fire off a Bubble Beam in hopes of getting a speed drop, but no dice. From here, I can switch to Plant on an Outrage for free, and this does let me get off a Dazzling Gleam, leaving the Pseudo Dragon in the yellow. Oh, it goes Iron Head, it's dead, it's dead, it's dead. It freaking crits us, dude! There's no way it just crit us. No way, dude. That is so unlucky. Regardless of if the crit mattered here, I probably shouldn't have kept Plant in, but we all make mistakes, and the free switch into Leafar gives us the ability to tank an Outrage and send the Water Snake into the Shadow Realm. So with Team Flare defeated, I watch the fireworks and reflect. We've lost 6 Mons to stupid mistakes along my journey thus far, and we still have a bit of ground to cover. Is this adventure I've set out on doomed to end in misery? Although there are a couple of stinkers in the Gen 6 Pokédex, there are more than a few S-tier friends that we've made along the way. So we owe it to the stinkers to prove to the world that no matter how small of a Pokédex Gen 6 is, they are still strong. So we continue on our quest beyond Anastar City, where upon zooming through Corway Town, we can reach Route 19, where we can face off against our friends on this bridge, which is a fantastic place for a dramatic showdown. It's just too bad that half their Mons still don't know 4 moves and have like max 3 Pokemon, making for this gauntlet to be slightly on the anticlimactic side of things. And as we enter Snowbell City, a frequent chatter issues me a challenge. Not even Owen can fix the Kalos rivals. True. We'll see about that, Leafar. Anyways, now that we're in the city of the final gym leader Wolfric, we gotta go bring him home from the Pokemon Village, where we can pick up one of my favorite Gen 6 Pokemon, Risen Tom the Trevenant. So with that out of the way, we can take way more time than I'd like to admit, navigating Wolfric's gym puzzle and approach him at the end, beginning the fight. Wolfric starts the battle with a non-mega evolving Abomasnow. Okay. So I start with Wish Diancie, the Carbink, a mon I picked up earlier in the run to set up Stealth Rocks before tanking an Energy Ball easily. From here, I bring Marco out on a strong Energy Ball to send out a return, taking it down to half HP, forcing Marco to tank another one in the process. But since we outspeed, we can send out a second return and take it down no problem. This baits Wolfric's Cryogonal in, so I switch out into Bookshelf to hard wall the Ice Beam as the hail subsides, meaning Cryogonal aims to click Hail on the next turn. But now with access to more moves that are boosted by Mega Launcher, Bookshelf is able to rip a nasty 120 base power Aura Sphere, which just barely misses out on the KO. No worries though, as we can make Wolfric waste a Hyper Potion here, as we're able to eventually turn the Snowflake into dust, barring getting confused from Confuse Ray. Finally, it's time for the Ace Avalugg, but with only 2 turns into being confused, there's still a chance of hitting myself in confusion here. And with the rest of our team not looking too hot, we gotta go for it. Yes, we snapped out! That's crazy! That's crazy, chat. Let's go! And there we have it. 8 badges in our hand. So all that was left between me and the final gauntlet that is the Elite Four was Victory Road. And honestly, this is one of the more enjoyable ones in the series. What with its elaborate waterfalls and bridges and the dilapidated stone walls implying that a castle was once home to this beautiful cliffside landscape. And it all culminates at the top with the final rival fight, which goes swimmingly as is able to take out the Fearless Cat with a Night Slash. Hondovion makes a last-minute return to take out the Altaria with a Moonblast. Bookshelf can hold on as a Psychic from Delphox leaves him in the red, only to retaliate with a Surf. And Leafar can finish the scraps off as he stalls out the Jolteon and Absol with Spiky Shield to finish the fight. This means that after taking care of a couple more loose ends in Victory Road, we can emerge from the depths, in front of the Pokemon League. And it's here where I realize if we're gonna get through this Elite Four, I needed to do some theory crafting. So after calling the stream there, I did exactly that. And upon turning on the next stream, I had a solid plan for both Malva and Seabold, but did another 20 minutes of planning or so with chat, and a regular chatter and friend of the channel Tom came up with a solid plan for Diantha that involves Risen Tom and a certain move. So with that, I decided to trust in the fuck it we ball energy and entered the Elite Four with the final team of Confection the Slurpuff, a mon I picked up a while back that's been boxed the whole run up until now, Bookshelf the Clawitzer, a team mainstay, Marco the Furfro, who's been there since the start, alongside our starter, Leafar the Chestnut, Risen Tom the Trevenant, and Miraidon the Heliolisk, who's been especially helpful taking out various mons in the late game. And while doing some final preparations, I make a bet with a friend of the channel, Tom, that if I can beat the champion with no more deaths, he'll gift 5 channel members. And what's interesting about this Elite Four is that you can fight each member in any order you want. So I decided to go in order of how confident I am in beating each member. So first up is Malva, the fire type Elite Four member, and she sends out a Pyroar. So I throw Bookshelf out, knowing that this Pyroar has Wild Charge. But because this thing has rivalry and we are opposite genders, I figured we were okay. But it ends up going Noble Roar instead, ensuring that my Water Pulse doesn't grab the KO. I attempt to steer the battle in my favor here by switching Leafar in and out to reset the stat drop, but it continues to lower my attack, meaning we're left to taking it out at -1. This immediately brings Talonflame in, so I switch into Marco on a critical hit Brave Bird. This is fine though, as I send out a return that leaves the bird in the red, meaning after tanking a Flare Blitz, the Rocky Helmet damage takes it out. In comes Torkoal, so it's time to bring Bookshelf back out on a sizable Earthquake. But thanks to some quick calcs, we know that we can outspeed and kill with a Mega Launcher boosted Water Pulse, meaning Malva brings out her final mon in Chandelure, who thankfully doesn't have Energy Ball, so we can switch into Miraidon on a Shadow Ball for free to get off a Thunderbolt as the Chandelure retaliates with a Confuse Ray. But not wanting to risk hitting myself in confusion, I switch back to Bookshelf to take a Flamethrower, just barely surviving, but getting burnt in the process. But with a Lumberry equipped, it's no problem, as we can now switch back to Miraidon on another Shadow Ball to outspeed with another Thunderbolt, taking it out. And that is Malva done and dusted. Next up, I decided to go up against Seabold, and from the looks of the plan, I think we got this one in the bag, as he sends out Clawitzer, and I go Miraidon, who immediately outspeeds and electrocutes the Oblong Crab with a Thunderbolt, bringing it down. Gyarados is out next, who sends my Electro Lizard into fear with an Intimidate that thankfully doesn't affect the Thunderbolt sweep, as the next one takes the Pseudo Dragon down. Out next is Barbaracle, and yet again, Miraidon can outspeed an Oko with another Thunderbolt. This brings out Starmie, who is a bit of a speedster themselves. So we strap in with another Thunderbolt. Oh, we just outspeed again. Woohoo! Seabold is defeated. But now it's time for the hard stuff, as we decide to tackle Wickstrom the Steel-type Master next, who starts out with a set of keys that's looking all too familiar, as I throw out the reigning champ Miraidon, who this time isn't able to outspeed an Oko with a Thunderbolt, as the keys set up spikes with Prankster, but does do enough damage so the bolt on the following turn takes it out. This brings Probopass in, so I switch out into Leafar, who soaks up spikes damage on top of a soft Earth Power. Knowing that this guy's got sturdy, I opt to go for the double power-up punch instead of Hammer Arm, and taking some more chip damage from a Flash Cannon in the process, taking out the Mustached Magnet. But because I used a fighting type move, this means the Ghostly Sword takes center stage, meaning our setup might be for naught. But regardless, I go for a Spiky Shield, which while it does do some nice chip damage, it also means Aegislash is now in Blade form, dropping its defenses a bit. So all we gotta do is click Seed Bomb and risk a crit Iron Head, which thankfully doesn't come through, meaning on the following turn, we can, oh no, Wickstrom opts to heal the sword to full. So from here, I carefully cycle between Spiky Shield and Seed Bomb as the sword switches between King Shield and attacking into the Spiky Shield, slowly chipping away at its health until it's weak enough to go down to 2 Seed Bombs. But after the first one, we gotta risk another crit, which doesn't connect again, and with just enough health to sit above healing range, I switch to Bookshelf on an Iron Head to take it out with Dark Pulse. This finally brings in Scizor, and barring a crit from an incoming X-Scissor, We take the metal bug out with water pulses, winning the fight. Whew, that was a tough battle, but we made it through. Which means we only have one Elite Four member to fight in Drasna, who comes out swinging with a Dragalge. So I yet again bring out Miraidon, who opts not for another Thunderbolt, but an Eerie Impulse instead, partially lowering the Shrimp's special attack, as it hits back with a Sludge Bomb doing okay damage. And after doing the same thing on the next turn, the second Sludge Bomb connects and grabs the unfortunate poison. From here, I can switch into Bookshelf on a soft Sludge Bomb, meaning that on the next turn, a Dragon Pulse puts it squarely in the red, as a Thunderbolt barely does a scratch. But this means that I've put Drasna in a heal lock, so after a full restore procs, 2 more Dragon Pulses take the Dragalge down. Out comes Zalteria, who just barely outspeeds us to thankfully only set up a Cotton Guard, meaning the following Ice Beam lands the glorious Cloudbird, and definitely the better of the 2 non-pseudo-legendary dragons of Gen 3. Noivern is up next, who is also able to outspeed and get a meaty Dragon Pulse off. But after a held Citrus Berry puts Bookshelf back in the green, he sends out an Ice Beam doing more than enough to OHKO that noisy bat. This leaves Druddigan in the back, the last Pokemon that stands between us and the champion of Kalos. But I hesitate. I don't know what to do. But oh creations, you've got a Mega Launcher boosted Dragon Pulse and definitely outspeed. Just go for it. Oh, but youngster Joey, you're missing a crucial detail. Dragon Pulse only has an 87.5% chance to kill here. And not only that, this is yet another Pokemon that knows the move Retaliate, which we've had ample experience trying to predict in the past. And if the move connects and crits, it's more than enough damage to take Bookshelf down. But I can't just predict that it goes Retaliate here. We know for a fact that it's not guaranteed. So this time, I decide to play into it, hoping that we can get that high chance kill. 87% chance that this kills. Come on. Do it, Clawitzer, do it. No! Yes! Okay, good, good, good. It goes Dragon Tail, we're fine. We're fine. Dude, I couldn't have asked for a better setup. That was so lucky. No, the max roll doubled was 45. Almost really bad, yeah. Let's go! We made it to the champion Deathless! And there we go, a Deathless Elite Four. But let's see if we have what it takes to take on Diantha. With a rockstar crew that's been able to steer their way out of countless situations by my side, I approach the champion and enter the fight. She sends in her blockbuster hero, Halucha, so I toss out Confection, who while the Luchador wastes its singular turn of existence setting up a Swords Dance, Confection can rip a dazzling gleam right between its eyes, bringing it from whence it came. This baits in Tyrantrum, which works wonders for Confection, as he double dips the dazzling gleam, throwing the dino back to prehistoric times. Diantha resets the tempo as Aurorus comes out, so I opt to do a risky switch to Leafar, as the graceful Ice Dino thankfully sets up a light screen. This means Leafar is free to slam a hammer arm into Aurorus, taking it out. So far so good. Goodra takes the stage, so I take this opportunity to switch into Bookshelf on a soft Fire Blast, and on the next turn, as we swap Dragon Pulses, I remember the light screen still stands, but I find a way through by switching back to Confection on an immune Dragon Pulse as the light screen fades. Now our Tubagoo is able to stall Diantha out of her full restores with a combo of Dazzling Gleam, Wish, and a light screen or two of our own while getting burnt in the process. So with a light screen still set up and the Sloppy Dragon at half HP, I finally switch back to Clawitzer on a soft Muddy Water that does get the accuracy drop, and as the Citrus Berry brings me back to full, the light screen does wear off. But from here, it's back to trading Dragon Pulses, and this time, Goodra evades. This means that we now have to dodge yet another crit and land the following Dragon Pulse. So, Bookshelf, let's see what you got, buddy. Come on. Let's go. This kills. Nice. Okay. So with that, the tricky pumpkin Gourgeist comes onto the scene. So I immediately switch into Leafar to absorb the incoming Seed Bomb, only to pivot again into Marco on a Trick or Treat. This means I can get off a Sucker Punch, bringing it in the yellow, while only needing to eat another Seed Bomb. And while I can go for the kill here, Marco is not going to be able to 1v1 the Mega Gardevoir in the back. So I switch into Confection on a tanky Seed Bomb to set up another light screen. But as the bird damage rolls in, I realize that he's gonna need to be sacked to get that screen up. So with a heavy heart and an empty wallet, I click light screen. Wait, does burn? Oh! Confection lives on 4 HP, meaning it's completely safe to switch back into Marco on a Phantom Force and take it out with another Sucker Punch. It didn't kill. And that means as I try to take it out on the following turn, oops, we didn't stall Diantha out of all of her heals. So I again click Sucker Punch, forgetting that she would go for a Trick or Treat once again, meaning the light screen Confection risked his life for was for naught. But the final Sucker Punch PP does me right, as it connects with a crit, leaving it in the yellow. But now, it was my time to enact my secret weapon. You see, there's a reason Risen Tom hasn't seen the light of battle in this gauntlet yet, and it all comes down to this very moment, as I switch him in on a Pudgy Seed Bomb. Ghostly Tree versus Ghostly Pumpkin. The standoff of the century, and most likely, centuries in the past, since, you know, they're ghosts and all. So from here, I'll turn it over to O Creations Live. Okay, we Trick Room. Nice. We're now faster. And now, we Phantom Force. Oh my gosh. Ooh. Let's go. Tom, you are a genius. Get some extra HP on Confection. Okay. So, now we just outspeed and kill, right? We just Phantom again. Here comes the Mega. Nothing they can do, yeah. I'm so happy I brought Trick Room. No freaking shot, dude. No shot this kills. Let's go! We did it! Oh my god. That's Pokemon X, baby! And with that, we've done it. We've beaten Pokemon X with only the Pokemon introduced in this generation. Oh, and we got those 5 gifties too. This run was one of the most enjoyable to do live thus far. Chat and I had such a fun time growing connections with Pokemon we've barely seen in the past. And now we know how good some of these stinkers really are. Thank you all for watching. It means a lot. And a special thanks to my channel members. You guys are always the best. And with that, I've been O Creations, and I'll see you all in the next one. Bye!